Alright, we are back with our D&D adventure in the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. I'm Sam, I'm the DM, and a little bit of a late start here, so thank you for your patience, my lovely players. And just a quick note that Paula, who plays Cup, won't be joining us today due to something last minute that came up. So we'll be continuing with just our four adventurers, Kyrell, Eureka, Nex, and Sylvia. Yeah. So, for an inspiration, would anybody like to give me a recap of the last session? If you want to. You did watch the stream, I think, so. That's okay. Alright, if nobody wants the inspiration, I will go ahead and give a quick recap of the last session. You brave adventurers have made your way, venturing through this swamp, this ancient swamp called the Mire of Dead Men. And you are making your way through this swamp because you have heard from the local lizard folk that the cult of the dragon and Rezmir herself have a Got it. I know how to fix that. Okay, that should fix it pretty good. And yeah, all right. Yeah. So, to give you a bit of recap. Yes, Kirsten?
Their audio's not coming in on the YouTube.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Whenever we start sessions now, I check the audio, and I don't think our audio is coming in. Like, us as in, like,
yeah.
Only Sam's is coming in right now.
That's okay. Hold on a sec. Yeah, really? Do you guys want to try talking now? Yeah, it's not coming in. Damn, okay. Oh, it should be working now, I believe. The audio.
I'll try it again. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
etc.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it working. Wow.
Beautiful.
We really ran into every single technical issue with this. That's kind of wild. All right. Anyway, to give a brief recap, you guys are adventuring through this ancient swamp called Mire of Dead Men, because you have heard rumors from the local lizard folk that the cult of the dragon and Rezmir herself have holed up in an ancient castle in the center of this swamp. You have been tasked by the Lord's Alliance to retrieve one of these dragon masks that the cult of the dragon has, and that you know for a fact Rezmir has worn when she's battled you at the siege of Daggerford. So now we can continue our adventure through the swamp. Previously, you guys fought some wraiths that gave it was a pretty long battle, so thank you for that. But you guys came out on top, and you're about halfway through your journey now. So the place that you are currently in is a bit of a restless place. You look around and you see just miles of this murky bog, and currently where you're standing at the end of battle, there are skeletons poking through some of this black water. But everything seems quiet right now. What would you like to do?
I think all of us got a little wrecked. So maybe we should take a rest, or should we count this as a rest, like a long rest?
Yeah, if you want to take a long rest, you can look around for some possible shelter in the area.
What would that be? Sort of like a check to find somewhere where we won't get like jumped by spooky things in the night?
Yeah, you'll make a survival check to just kind of feel out the area and see where might be safe.
Cool. I have a +2 to that. I don't know if anyone else. I could give the help if someone has a better survival.
I think mine's pretty bad. Yeah. +3.
Well, that's better than mine, so.
Okay, I guess that's it. So, I guess Sylvia was just gonna like try to like climb onto one of those skeletons, like skulls, and just look around to see if she can find anywhere dry.
I'm like,
Alright.
I'm helping by just like standing next to you so that you can like use me to balance.
Yeah, I've just got like my head or my head on her head. 13.
13. Okay. You see a bit in the distance, surrounded by twisted mangroves and tangled vines, is the somewhat crumbling remnants of an old tower.
Oh. I think I see somewhere is dry and sheltered over that way. I'm kind of, I don't know, I think I need a rest for a bit. Can we just like take a nap?
Nap
Next.
sounds good at this point.
Yeah, next is always.
Alright, yeah, you guys can go ahead and take a short rest if you'd like.
What like time of day is it?
It is approaching evening, and, you know, at the end of your long rest, it will be nighttime.
Okay, so we're doing a long rest? Right?
Yeah, you can either make your way, you take a short rest now, or you can make your way to this shelter to get a long rest. This is not a very, like, safe environment to be walking around in, nor is it really very comfortable with just kind of the murky water. It's a swamp, you know? If you put a bedroll down, it's not... it's just gonna soak up the swamp water.
How far away is the tower?
Not far, maybe 15-minute walk from
Okay.
your track from what you've seen.
Yeah, so I think like Sylvia would be just like, let's just go like, instead of just taking a short rest, let's just go like have a big nap.
Yeah, that's fine with me. And next can take the lead, like traveling there, since I don't know how to flavor it. I just happened to not expend anything or get hurt during our last encounter. I entered Matrix time and was just dodging all the bullets.
Yes. Okay, cool. So, Yeah, as you make your way to the tower, next you're leading them, you scope it out a little bit as you approach. You could go ahead, just make a perception check to get a general lay of the land.
That's a 22.
Awesome. So as you approach this tower, you don't see any enemies nearby. However, you do see what remains of an old trap. There is a tripwire that is crossing what used to be the threshold of this tower, like the doorway. But there's no longer a door there, and it looks like a hunting snare has just been set up.
Do we need, like, would I be able to use my smith's tools to attempt to undo the trap?
Well,
Or, like, do we need a certain tool to do it?
I do believe Smith's tools would consist of like a hammer, so you can try. I think if you had thieves' tools, you would be able to use your proficiency bonus if you were proficient in thieves' tools.
I do have thieves' tools.
Cool, yeah, I'll just sort of, like, you know, call Kyrell over and, like, squat and point out sort of where the trap is.
I can certainly attempt.
Alright, so please make a sleight of hand check to try to disarm the snare.
Dirty 20.
Dirty, slutty 20. Awesome. Yeah, so you're able to successfully disarm the snare. You peek your head like around this like partially collapsed tower, and you see that there are no upper floors anymore. It seems that what remains of this tower has been pretty much just subject to time and the hostile environment here. But you do find like dry stone on the interior. Yeah, so you're all certainly able to take a long rest here. If you'd like to, now would be a good time if you have any downtime activities to go ahead and do those. Yeah, and Bogluck, the lizard folk who has been your guide through the swamp, just kind of excitedly jumps up and says, dry land is nice every once in a while. And he like curls up almost like a dog and like wraps his big tail like right around his nose. This will be a lovely place to bend down.
Do you know anything about this tower?
This tower?
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, I know they're, you know, before me and the other lizard folk were here, there used to be some kingdom, but the whole place got flooded a really long time ago, and I guess these are just old relics of it.
Works for us.
Yeah, I feel as though old things like this, they change over time, but the past few years that the cult has been active in my swamp, I feel like so much has changed so quickly.
Like what?
Well, you know, we used to occupy Castle Naerytar and, you know, just serve our king there. And then when Rezmir, the scary black dragon mask lady, came in and just started bossing around our king, and he really just kind of let her boss him around. I don't know what was up with that. And those cultist folks, they aren't really kind to us. They have us, like, gathering all of their things, and they bring all this treasure, but we don't get to keep any of the treasure. We have to bring it to Rezmir and the king. It's just, so much has changed. The swamp used to be better place for me.
Sounds like there's just a lot more work now than there used to be. You're not seeming to see much of the benefit of it.
Yeah, you're
That would be
right.
frustrating.
It would be so great to, get my hands on some of that treasure. I mean, that's kind of what got me in trouble with Langdorosa in the first place, so.
Did you get your hands on any of the treasure?
I did, a little bit, but
Where is
then
it?
I got caught.
Oh.
Remember, they locked me away in the roadhouse?
Yeah, I just thought maybe you stored some somewhere else. We did rescue you though, so like, you got like a stash somewhere, or did they get it all?
No, I don't have a stash anywhere, sorry.
Do you still remember, like, how'd you get the treasure? Tell me that story.
How did I get the treasure? Okay, so.
Yeah.
It was an epic adventure. So basically, I was working in the castle, and Rezmir was being all mean and like ordering us around, and I got so fed up. I wish like our king could like snap out of it and do something about it, right? But he loves treasure. Like he loves like shiny things, valuable things, expensive things. And I figured maybe if I like brought him a present, he would like remember that, we're not just laborers, we're his followers. So I went in and I tried to get into the boss lady's place, because that's where a lot of the treasure was, right? There was this like big black dragon statue with like red ruby eyes, and I picked it up, and this is where I was wrong. I did not think it was going to be that heavy. So when I picked it up, it like knocked this pedestal over, and the pedestal banged onto the floor, and then there were suddenly a whole bunch of guards, and they came and they grabbed me, and that's pretty much the story.
Oh my god, that's so awkward.
Well, I'm not exactly a stealthy creature.
Yeah, I was thinking more like you do a secret entrance or something.
Well, it's not really a secret entrance. I mean, there's the main gate to the castle, but I mean, there's also this. Well, let me think here. Yeah, there's this old tower part of the castle. It's crumbling. It's in disrepair. So honestly, you could probably get in that way, but nobody really goes over there. Like the cultists, like they seem kind of scared of it. I don't know.
Oh. Interesting. You don't know why they're scared of it? There's no like rumors about it being like haunted or anything?
Not haunted, but they said there's some kind of creature down there. I don't know what though.
Interesting. It sounds like you had quite the adventure.
Yeah, I did, and really I just want to see the lizard folk get the castle back from these cultist people. They're not very friendly. And we don't get to keep any of the treasures, so that sucks.
Yeah, like you wanted the dragon. Come on, let's be real. That's a cool statue thing. Like,
yeah,
50-50. Like, come on.
Yeah, I did want the statue thing, but mostly for our king. He loves treasure.
Okay, that's fair. Can't really relate, but I'd rather just have the statue for myself, to be honest with you.
Well, maybe if we get there, you can at least take a look at it.
Okay, I'll take it. I mean, take a look at it. I'm looking forward to meeting your king, too.
Oh, he's majestic.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is he single?
I think so. I mean, I've never asked him, but there's no queen, so...
Interesting. Well, you'll have to put in a good word for us. We did rescue you after all.
That you did. Hopefully. I mean, I don't know how welcoming he's going to be, especially with Rezmir in his head.
Yeah, we'll work on that too.
Thank you. So, what's the story with the rest of you folks? You seem like an odd bunch to be journeying in the swamp. How'd you end up coming here? And what's your deal with the cult?
I think Nex, who was sort of like polishing her armor and like really trying not to laugh listening to Sylvia ask if this Lizard King is single. We'll talk a little bit about her brother, who she's probably missing a little bit in these, kind of dangerous territory. Probably glad he's safe, and we'll, talk a bit about their journey and how they sort of similarly saw the cult kind of destroy the community in Daggerford, and how someday Sylvia is going to get revenge by installing herself as the Lizard Queen.
Well, it's funny you say Lizard Queen. Our queen wouldn't be a lizard if Sylvia's the queen. The king isn't even a lizard.
Wait, what?
Well, he's kind of like a lizard, but he's huge, big. Like think. Oh God, I don't know. I've only seen one of him. He's this big creature with long snout, sharp teeth, black scales, and huge leathery wings.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's magnificent.
Are
I
you-
can't wait for you to meet him.
If Kyrell is kind of pointing and then looking back and then looking at the party and then looking back.
I think Nex immediately scrambles for her wizard spellbook turned sketchbook and shows the sort of like chalk drawing of the blue dragon that we encountered in Daggerford, and like shoves it in his face and is like, "Is it like this?"
No, I said he has black scales.
Okay, but like this shape, but black instead of blue.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's
Cool.
the color of his fire?
Well, he doesn't breathe fire.
Why not?
I don't know.
Have you seen him breathe? What does he breathe?
Well, I saw him breathe like one time. One time Rezmir was really, really mad at some lizard folk, and our king, he decided that it would be fitting to punish them for trying to resist Rezmir's rule, and it's really difficult for me to talk about, actually.
Why? What happened?
Well, they all kind of dissolved. Like I
Oh,
said,
dear.
it's kind of difficult to talk about.
So, how big is your king? Like, is he bigger than the trees here?
Oh yes, very, very much so.
Do you know would you say, like, how old is he? Like, would you describe him as, being like an adult, or maybe like ancient, young, a wormling even?
I'd say he's kind of right in the middle. I mean, I don't know exactly how old he's been. I know this kingdom was here first, and then it flooded, and then we moved in to Castle Naerytar, and he just kind of like claimed the castle as his domain, and you know, we bring him shiny things and pretty things and all manner of magical things that we can find in the swamp, and he loves it, and life was good. And then Rezmir came and just kind of took over, and yeah, now they're working together, I guess.
Yikes.
So we have to go up against a dragon. And Rezmir.
So, are we taking it that the dragon is motivated by working with Rezmir? Or is she enchanting him? Or...
I mean, it kind of sounds like she's, like, controlling him if, you know, he's so... Because, I mean, you know, it seemed like before he was sort of happy just to, right, like, protect his horde, to have his kingdom, and... Although, I don't know, maybe he wants the same thing that the cult does, to expand his kingdom.
I mean, but if we offered him a wife...
I think he just needs a different controller.
He just needs a different perspective, that's all.
How much does your king believe in the power of love?
It's not all about love. Sometimes you just need to motivate somebody to carry you across a swamp, okay?
How much does your king believe in the power of sex?
How big is this?
I'm not answering.
Okay. Okay.
Whoa.
Listen. Okay. Listen. There's more ways to convince somebody to do something besides sex and love. There's magic. Okay, and I have some experience with that. I don't think you'd notice, but here's the thing. Okay, listen. So I tried it on Rezmir when we were at that camp a while ago, and it did not work. So she's got something going on. I don't know what, but she's got some influence. Like, she has the capability, I would say, at least, to put some kind of extra influence on him to do things that he does not want to do. So I wouldn't necessarily count the king as an enemy.
Maybe
Absolutely.
trying to just get Rezmir.
I would like to get Rezmir.
Without the dragon being there?
Yeah.
But I think we need to do a bit more recon when we get there first. We're kind of going in here blind.
I agree.
And a little bit outnumbered, and
It sounds like the lizard folk might be more on our side, though, than Rezmir's. Or at least some of them.
Well, I can't speak for all the lizard folk, but I certainly like you guys, and I would very much like our king to not be under control by that scary lady anymore.
We'd like the same thing, but we might end up having to hurt your king a little before we can save him.
Wait. We have a little bit. We can back up a little bit. His name is Bogluck, correct? Bogluck.
Yeah.
Do you remember at any point collecting, like, a really special something, Rezmir? It's like it would look like a mask.
Oh no, I haven't collected any mask or anything like that. But she showed up wearing this scary black mask that kind of looked like our king. I think maybe that's why, like, he likes her so much or something.
Oh my god. And
Oh my god.
that bitch had a blue mask at Daggerford.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Okay. Well, that tells us what we need to do, at least.
So try to get the mask. Still the main plan here.
Does she have multiple masks? Or is that what we're supposed to understand? Do we think?
I mean, I've only ever seen her with the one scary mask.
So Eureka is pondering all of this, and then she's suddenly gonna turn to Kyrell and be like, "So how did you do this? Like, what? why are they masks? Why are these? What? You need to take some accountability in this moment. Why are we running around and getting
Damn.
masks?"
Look, they wanted proof. It's my father is a very difficult man, and at least some of them are allowing us the chance to get the proof we need without even taking. At least they're taking our word at face value, and if we get the mask, then they'll believe us more. I mean, I don't know what it is with the mask, but it's collecting proof. And if there's anything else that we can find there, plans or anything else that we may bring with us, then finding those things and seeing what else their plans may be. Like, we know they're planning on turning a dragon, but where is it going to happen? We don't have all the. We're missing pieces here. And Kyrell just looks frustrated because first they burned down a building. Now they're on a crazy quest through a swamp, and now they just found out there's a dragon.
So Eureka's gonna turn her eyes to Bogla and ask if, and essentially be like, so, like, how long has this kingdom been here for?
I don't know. I think the kingdom that was here before was really ancient, and then it just was flooded somehow. Some kind of, I don't know, drastic event or something. Because all the buildings are still here, and I mean, you fought some of the other residents earlier, so yeah, the kingdom has been very old before it was flooded. It's just the nature of this swamp, I think.
And it is to your understanding that the king has been the king since before the flood?
No, I think after the flood, the Castle Naerytar was abandoned, and then the king came, and like we found the castle, and the king came, made it his lair, and we serve him, and we enjoy our cozy corner in the mire of dead men.
I think at this point, Nex is sort of like, I've had enough realizations for one night, and is going to kind of start getting ready for bed. It's just like, this is too much. Fucking dragons.
We're gonna need all the help we can get going up against this cult, so if they say we need a mask for proof, then a mask we're gonna need to get. But I'll do what I can to help out here, and is going to ask Eureka, do you still have that axe?
Eureka looks a little perplexed, and she's like, "What are you talking about?"
That hand axe that you took.
You slowly see realization come into Eureka's eyes, and she kind of like flashes back to when she hung a man upside down with a snare trap and was like, "That's pretty cool." And so she's gonna like rifle through her pack and pull out the hand axe, but she's like notably, it looks silly on her. It looks silly for her to have a hand axe. What did you want with this?
Carol hesitates for a second. Just give it here for a second. I promise I'm not going to do anything bad to it. I'm just going to give it a little oomph, you might say.
Eureka's gonna nod with a little bit of confusion, but hand it over.
And Kyrell is going to use an infusion on the hand axe.
Heck yeah.
And is going to enhance the weapon.
Ooh, dope. How does that work?
So, what happens is that this magic weapon grants a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it.
Nice.
And you kind of see the weapon kind of glow a little bit. And Kyrell is going to hand it back over to Eureka. I don't know how long infusions are supposed to last, but it doesn't say. Or actually, no, infusions last, but I don't know how long it takes to infuse an item. It doesn't say that specifically.
I think it's fine for you to do that over the course of a long rest.
Sounds good.
So Eureka's gonna take it, and she seems a little bit more comfortable with it. She seems curious about how different something can be, and so she kind of gratefully accepts it and inspects it and starts like mentally taking notes because she's grateful to Kyrell for infusing an item, but is also like, it doesn't look that different, so she doesn't really understand how it works. And then since we are also doing a long rest, I took on the chef feat, which is how I'm gonna flavor my little tincture. So Eureka, I guess as she's getting ready for bed, starts taking out pouches that she just has from Waterdeep and like things that she's collected as a result of wandering and meandering around the swamp as well. And she starts taking things out of this little pack situation and kind of mixing them together, but not in her normal tincture making way, in a way that makes like essentially like little, I don't know, little tea bags. Looks like they're little tiny tea bags. And I was just gonna treat it like the treats, but I can make 3 of them. They are good to use within 8 hours, and you can use them to gain 3 temporary hit points, which is just a nice little tea buff. So she kind of makes these little concoctions and then goes to hand them off to people who wants one.
That's so cute. I will definitely take one.
Same.
And I think as I take one and seeing that you're sort of like using ingredients from around the swamp, I think next would have been like kind of looking over her spell book, thinking about, the journey ahead of them, and we'll sort of ask if there were any ingredients that you could like use a refill on.
What are things most potent in this area? I guess I would defer to your expertise, but in a swamp-like area.
Now I'm realizing, like, me, Sarah, does not know anything about plants. But I think I'm
just make up some names. That's what I do.
yeah, I'm like, well, I need some wither root. I know that the blood tendril vines around here make a good poultice. Fancy alchemy words. And I think next, looking for spell components is going to mostly because I have spell slots to spare before long rest. Is going to summon. I use my summon beast spell to bring back my spirit bear, that little like albino black bear, and then cast beast sense on it, which lets me like see and hear through it, and will basically like use my sort of like animal spirit to go gather components in the swamp while we're sort of safely holed up here.
Yeah, awesome. I was gonna make you roll for it, but I think with the assistance of your beast spirit and you being able to identify blood tendrils and wither roots, I think you're able to just simply collect all of the items you need for your spell components and for Eureka's tinctures.
Ooh, I get an A in making up plants.
You won D&D.
Thank you. That's actually been it for me. I'll see you guys next campaign.
GG.
No, yeah, I think then like I'll sort of spend the rest of our like evening here by the campfire, just like sort of sorting through what we found and maybe like showing Eureka some of the sort of like healing properties of things, or kind of like dungeon meshy style. Sort of being like, oh, this one you have to like boil first, or this one you have to dry and then grind up, things like that.
Since we're doing this, I also get to do I roll a 1d6 thingy. Can I ask for Sarah to do it so Sarah can have a little bit of fun with the 1d6?
This is for your
experimental elixir, so the tinctures that I make. But since Sarah is I guess because Nex is helping, I think it'd be fun if Nex rolled for it, just for funsies.
Yeah, next, if you want to roll 1d6 to make an experimental elixir.
Yes, I'm honored to be part of your elixir roll. All right, that's a 5.
All right, Eureka, what does the 5 mean on experimental elixirs?
So this experimental elixir grants a flying speed of 10 feet for 10 minutes.
Ooh.
That's pretty dope.
I think we're like the two of us just get like really into the weeds, into like molecular gastronomy, and we've created one of those like, it's like a drink, but it's also like a cloud that you like inhale and it makes you fly.
Amazing. All right, anything else before you guys bed down?
I would like to take out my little mouse that I assume I've just kind of had in my pocket and is alive because I gave it life. I'd just like to check in on it.
This is your homunculus, correct? Little tiny mechanical mouse?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It has a little turnkey on its back, so you turn the turnkey a couple of cranks, and then as the turnkey begins to unwind, it like articulates a little bit, and it looks up at you, and it does that cute thing that mice do where they like groom their faces.
I guess you need a name. And so Eureka's gonna tap the tip of its little nose. I'll call you Gizmo. Sounds right.
And it just... And then the turnkey kind of finishes unwinding, and then it goes back to a resting position. All right, final call for activities before the long rest. Okay, lovely. So, you guys go ahead and take a long rest. You all nod off to sleep in the somewhat now dry environment of the shelter you found in the middle of this vast and murky swamp. Sylvia, you once again find yourself in a dream. And I'm gonna go ahead and change up the music as we kind of narrate this little dream sequence you have together. So, Sylvia, as you dream, you find yourself again standing in a graveyard where a low mist is hanging around you. The figure of your patron, the Raven Queen, stands before you. She is cloaked in dark raven's feathers that spread wide across the ground, and she dons a white porcelain mask. She regards you. My champion. You journey ever closer, now that Langdorosa is slain.
Sylvia is just gonna look around for a second, find the nearest gravestone, and take her time hopping up onto it, and just crossing her legs. He looks at her. Yeah, me and my friends slayed Langdorosa. We need to talk about that, though.
And you jump up on the gravestone. You see that the name on the stone head is Langdorosa.
Cool. So, the gifts you gave me, none of them worked on it. It was my friends that slayed Langdorosa.
You require more power?
I'm gonna need more support in this relationship, yes.
She kind of laughs, and then you hear like a flock of ravens like rustling in one of the trees behind you. They also chuckle, echoing her own laugh. I suppose that's fair.
Thank you.
I may not be able to give you a mechanical power right now. However, what I can give you is information. To know your enemy so well that you can best them in battle.
I'm listening.
It's more something you experience. She kind of comes towards you. She reaches out her hand and like she has this long gray arm. It's like unnaturally long and the fingers kind of elongate as she reaches toward you. And as her hand touches just the top of your shoulder, all of the ravens from the tree come down and start flying in circles around you very, very quickly. She says, "Now you shall know your enemy." And the ravens are flying faster, faster, faster around you until you can no longer just see the bodies of these birds, but just feathers and then black. And soon the feathers begin to fall away. And you feel changed somewhat. You feel different. You reach up.
So,
Yes?
Sylvia, as you like, excuse me. as like the fingers are coming, she's trying to keep her cool and her composure, but she's definitely like she pulls back a little bit, and her breath gets more shallow as that's happening, and she looks down to try to figure out what has changed on her.
Yeah.
The
So
physical.
you reach up and you touch your face, and your face doesn't feel the same. And you touch your ears, and they're no longer human ears. They're slightly pointed half elven ears. And you look around you, and there's no Raven Queen, but you're still in a graveyard. And just ahead you see about 24 coffins lined up. And there's a person who is digging in the graveyard.
She'll feel her pointed ears for a second, and she's like looking down at her hands, but she's carrying this more as a vision and hoping that, and I don't know if she decided if it's permanent or not, but she's going to approach the person digging after hopping down off of the gravestone.
As you approach the person digging, the digging stops, and you see this human man looks up at you and goes, "Oh, glad you're here. It's your turn to dig the graves, Rezmir."
Oh,
And he hops out of the grave and hands the shovel to you.
she's gonna take it. Sylvia's never held a shovel before in her life, so she just kind of like doesn't even like grip it fully. Thank you. What was your name again?
Hotar, yeah, I know you had a rough fight with some of your companions, so I imagine you're quite shaken up. Sorry for
Yeah.
all of your losses. And he looks over at these coffins.
I barely even remember it. Honestly.
You know,
Did you witness any of it?
No, but you know, I heard it was pretty harrowing. It's probably best that you don't remember too much of it.
Really want to remember though. I think if I just take like one more look at their faces before I bury them, or she's gonna open up or move to open up a coffin or like look inside.
Yeah, sure. The person who was standing there, he just kind of was whatever you need to process, and he walks away, and you pry open one of these coffins, and you see this person, you know, prepared for burial, is wearing like a dark cloak made of raven's feathers and a symbol on their chest. And you look at yourself, down at yourself, and you're wearing the same dark cloak of raven's feathers and a symbol on your chest of a raven skull. And
Is it something that's like recognizable? Like, is it a symbol that I know?
yeah, it would be the symbol of the Raven Queen.
Just the Raven. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear from one of the other coffins pounding. Rezmir. Rezmir, help.
She's gonna approach the coffin.
As you approach the coffin, you hear another voice from a different coffin. Rezmir, there's too many of them. What do we do?
Who is this?
Help, Rezmir. I don't know what to do. We're overwhelmed. We're surrounded.
What are they?
Ask the Raven Queen for help. We need guidance. She won't answer. Help, Rezmir, what do we do? Just these voices getting louder and more panicked around you from these coffins.
She's gonna step away from the coffins, not open them up. Watch them for a bit. Trying to decide what to do.
Yeah, and you feel not just your own panic from the situation, but you start to feel like Rezmir's panic and remember glimpses of this battle she was in, where her companions fell to undead creatures. You're supposed to slay them for the Raven Queen. They must keep the faith. And then the screaming and pleading kind of dies down a little bit, and another figure approaches from the mist of the graveyard, and you see this tall man, and he has a shaved bald head that is heavily tattooed, and he's wearing this red cloak that drapes from his shoulders all the way to the ground. He approaches you and he goes, "Such a shame for their prayers to have gone unanswered. Yet you have so much potential, Rezmir."
I agree. I just need somebody with more power whose goals align with my own.
Perhaps we can form a partnership.
Who are you?
My name is Brastos. I am a servant of Tiamat. And he reaches inside this cloak and he pulls out a black dragon mask. Unlike the Raven Queen, Tiamat honors her paladins. Join me, and you will not know defeat.
So Sylvia, as Rezmir, will reach out, hold the mask for a second, and look back at the coffins of who she is going to assume were her friends, people that fought with her beside her and who now were dead because of the Raven Queen's failures and having experienced the disappointment during the fight with Landerosa, with some saving throws. She will put the mask on.
Yeah, you put the mask on, you feel it almost fuse to your face, and it stings a little bit. You blink your eyes hard, and suddenly you're staring up at the stars. You hear crickets in the background. You see your friends around you. As you wake up in the middle of the night, mire of dead men.
She opens her eyes slowly, sits up, first feels her ears,
They are human.
and then looks around to see if anybody else is awake in the middle of the night.
All of your companions appear to be asleep.
She rustles a bit so that anyone who is a light sleeper might wake up. But
Eureka kind of fidgets in her sleep and rolls over to see that Sylvia is awake.
hi.
Eureka like narrows her eyes and is like squinting a little bit. I was like, what's going on? And she's like barely blinking awake.
I got something to tell you.
What's up? What's wrong?
You know, after that fight with the dragon, when I came back and all these like powers that came, I think like okay, like between us for now, I made a deal with someone when I was out there, and I think they just sent me a vision.
What do you mean? Where did you go?
Okay, so like it was okay, so it was the Raven Queen, and in the dream I was Rezmir, and it was at the end of a battle, and Rezmir was praying to the Raven Queen. Um, and then it didn't work. People died, and then this bald man with a big long red cape, he offered the mask that the black dragon mask to Rezmir in this vision. Um, and then Rezmir put it on, but like I don't understand, why would the Raven Queen show me her own failure? I don't get it.
Eureka has kind of rubbed off the blanket that she had wrapped around herself, and she is like scooting closer to Sylvia, just to, because she could see that Sylvia's pretty shaken up, and thinks for a moment. Maybe it wasn't a failure, or maybe Rezmir failed somewhere else, and
Maybe.
I don't know much about old gods. They don't. Religion doesn't particularly interest me, so I'm a little surprised this seems to be happening to you. And so Eureka kind of like widely gestures at Sylvia, like, I don't know why that's happening. But if it's important to you and it's very scary, then it's important to me. Then Eureka like looks up at Sylvia and looks down, kind of folds her hands in. Maybe we should just get back to sleep.
Okay. I'll try. And then she'll just like kind of lay back and lay on her side facing away and keep her eyes open for a bit longer while she tries to figure out kind of like allegiances and power, the cost of power and what she wants. Where to like go ahead.
Sorry, is Sylvia sleeping next to Eureka?
Yeah, well Sophie just like lay down where she's at, so if Eureka was still there, then yeah.
So Eureka's gonna lie down next to Sylvia and reach out her hand. Not expecting anything, but just reaching out her hand.
Sylvia will take the hand. Thanks. And just squeeze it a little bit.
And Eureka will squeeze back.
I love that. That's adorable. All right, I think we're good to take like a 5-minute break right now before we get back into your journey through the Mire of Dead Men. It'll be the last leg of your journey here, so we'll take a 5-minute break and then get back to more D&D. So I will see you guys when we get back.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, and we are back. In the Mire of Dead Men, you all awake in the morning, having benefited from a long rest and some unusual dreams. Bogluck kind of rises from his slumber. Goes, not too far now. Should just make it past the lake, and then we'll be pretty close to the castle at that point. Come on, follow me. And he kind of leads you all out of the tower that was your temporary shelter and back into the swamp as you trek. On this last leg of the journey, I will ask for another travel check. So that will be any kind of roll you'd like, whether it's survival, perception, investigation, nature, just some kind of check as you travel through this dangerous area of the swamp.
I can give that a go unless...
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead if you want to go.
I was going to say I could make a perception check.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
All right. That's a 16.
16. So at this last leg of the swamp, the DC has gotten higher and higher with each check. Fortunately, 16 does not succeed. So, as you guys find your way through the swamp, you kind of come across this very large lake in the middle of the swamp. There's these old trees that kind of overhang and like willow branches that just barely touch the water. And the water is dark and black and still. And it looks like there are some stones set up, so if you wanted to try to cross the lake, you could attempt to do so.
If we have the time, could I ritual cast an unseen servant and send it across the lake ahead of us?
Sure.
Cool, yeah, I will sort of break out my spell book here, and it creates this sort of like medium-sized, almost like wind spirit, just in case and anything were to possibly happen to it on this beautiful lake. It has an AC of 10 and 1 hit point. And I will sort of just like command it to follow the path of stones across the lake.
Okay. And your unseen servant, I suppose it is invisible since it's unseen. Is it kind of just doing this all willy-nilly? Do you want to like stealth it?
Can I like tie a bandana around it so I know where it is?
Yeah, sure. You take a bandana out, just like this blue bandana, and you tie it around the unseen servant, and it follows your commands and begins to hop on the stones here, and then it hops to this one, and then it hops to this one, and you see from behind this log an eye stalk just pops up. It's just like following the path of the unseen servant across the lake. And then the eye stalk snaps back toward your group, and a second eye stalk comes up, and a third eye stalk comes up out of the water.
Jesus
And then you
Christ.
hear this rumbling of the lake as this large frog-like creature reveals itself from the lake. And
Oh,
it's looking pretty hungry. Gonna go ahead and roll initiative.
why didn't I hide before I did that?
I don't know. Oh, you don't have an owlbear? Alright. I realized I didn't give you guys the owlbear link. That's so my bad. So give me just a second.
I wasn't sure if I missed it. That's all.
Alright. The link's in the chat so you guys could join initiative when you're ready. Okay. Sylvia, you are up first in this round. What would you like to do?
Okay. What is going on? So are we on the lake yet, or no?
No, you're still kind of in the marshlands. This is the kind of dividing line where the lake is.
Okay. Okay, 2 seconds, sorry. What do I want to do? Right. Is like delaying your turn in D&D a thing? I've never actually like done that or asked that.
Yeah, you can.
Is it
You can
just, like-
hold an action.
I just hold actions, cat.
Yeah.
And that needs to have like a trigger though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can hold your turn until, or you can hold an action until somebody else goes, until the creature gets closer, until you take damage, anything like that.
Okay. I think I am going to. I wish I took like more thoughts, but I didn't. I'll just cast a fairy fire on the creature, so it has to make DC 17 Dex save.
Okay.
It's a 20-foot cube, if that matters.
It does fail.
Okay, so it's now outlined in like a purplish glow, and any attack rolls against it have advantage.
Okay.
As long as they can see it. And then I'm going to do some movement. So I will. Just going to hide back here. I'm good.
All right. Eureka, it is your turn. What would you like to do? Eureka.
I was trying to double check something. I would like to cast. Oh wait, no. I would like to try. Where am I? Eureka would like to try to Melf's acid arrow this guy. So
I believe that's a spell attack, so you can make it with advantage because of the fairy fire.
Oh, but I got 25.
Nice. You still roll with
advantage.
just in case you crit.
I did not crit, so probably better. Okay, and sorry, our cat is being a psycho right now.
25 hits.
25 hits. Good to know. And then it takes 11 points of acid damage. And will take a 2d4 acid damage at the end of its next turn.
Got it. Alright, anything else for your turn?
I guess looking at it and thinking about Eureka's little encyclopedia, can she identify what that thing is across the way?
Yes, this is a frog hemoth. It's a giant frog.
Do I know anything else about this giant frog?
Make a nature check.
21.
Actually, not so bad. You would know that it is a giant frog. It can breathe underwater. And it is somewhat susceptible to lightning damage. Any movement for your turn?
Inside of the swamp, there isn't a lot of coverage, right?
Not particularly. There is like some boulders and some logs.
Okay, so I guess Eureka is gonna sneak around. Yeah, I think that's like 15 or 10.
Okay. Kyrell, you're up. What would you like to do?
Tyrell is gonna go with the classic fireball. He's like, every time we move in this damn swamp, we keep on ending up in the face of danger. Can't we just have a nice stroll through the swamp? And it's just gonna cast fireball.
Alright, roll with advantage because of the fairy fire.
Okay. $18.
18 hits. Roll damage.
Oh, that was good. 16 points of damage.
Okay, with that fire damage, as you cast it, this firebolt launches out and like hits the creature in one of its 3 eyes. It doesn't do as much damage as you'd like. This creature is very wet and in the middle of a lake, so you do learn, however, that it has resistance to fire damage. Anything else for your turn, Kyrell?
I think Kyrell is going to move a bit more over this way, and that's going to end their turn there.
Okay. It is now the Frog Hemoth's turn. So it's going to move up. It's going to move up 30 feet. Let's see if there's anyone in range here. Yeah, reach of 20 feet with these tentacles. So it's going to make 2 tentacle attacks. One against Kyrell and one against Nex. Because that is who is in its area. So, Cairo, you're up first. That is a dirty, slutty 20 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay. You take... Ooh, I rolled really high on these damage dice. 20 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled.
Good lord.
And then it will use its other tentacle to go after Nex. That is, I rolled pretty high on to hit, so that's 27 to hit.
It misses, actually.
Okay, you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are also grappled. And that will be its turn. Next, as you are grappled by this creature, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Can I make like a perception or nature or some kind of check to see how injured it looked after taking that fire damage, even though it had resistance to it?
Yeah, I mean, not terribly injured. You don't have to make a check for that. You are in this fight.
Okay, I think I'm going to cast Summon Beast again at a second level. But this time I'm going to summon a water creature. And I'm going to summon a water snake, since they eat frogs. I'm going to place it... I have one of my wild shape tokens. Yeah, I'm going to summon it sort of like in between myself and this dude who has me grappled. I don't think I have anything else as a bonus action. Grapple means I can't move, right?
That is correct. Your speed becomes 0.
Okay, cool. Then I think that's it for my turn, but my summoned animal goes right after me in initiative.
Awesome.
So my snake... Let's see. Okay, yeah, my snake is going to make a maul attack against our frog buddy. It's not great. My spell attack, sorry. Yeah, that's only a...
Sorry, it was a 6?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that will miss.
R.I.P. Oh, but actually, as a bonus action, I'm going to remember the tea that my friend gave me and use it to get 3 temporary hit points.
Awesome. Okay. Is that the end of your turn then?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. And I forgot to do this at the end of the frog human's turn, but it does take that acid damage from Melf's acid arrow that Eureka cast, so I'll roll that. 7 points of acid damage. Okay. Sylvia, it's the start of your turn. What would you like to do?
Sylvia's going to... Okay, shit, never mind, sorry. I had a plan, and it's not gonna work. Okay. Oh. Okay, she's just going to cast an upcast Dissonant Whispers at the froggy guy. So it's gonna make a 17 spell save for wisdom.
Okay. It fails with a 16.
Sweet. Oh, sorry. So it takes 16 points of psychic damage.
Awesome.
And this might have been a mistake, but I'm sorry, everybody who's not held. The creature has to move as far as its speed will allow away from me.
Okay. Does that happen right now or on its turn?
I think it's immediately on a failed
Awesome.
save, takes damage, and not immediately. Yeah,
Awesome.
use its
Okay.
reaction.
Cool. Gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, so it's gonna move all the way back there, and you see as the tentacles wrapped around your two friends just like yank them back so that they're almost over the lake now.
Shoot. Sorry.
They're still right on the cusp of where the lake begins, so. All right.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. That's it.
Okay. Eureka, you're up next. What would you like to do?
Is it working? Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness. On a hit, target takes 2d8 and must make a con saving throw.
Okay, roll to hit, and you still have advantage from the fairy fire.
Does a 16 hit?
Yes. So I'll make the con save. What's the DC?
The DC is... It doesn't say. Which is actually... Oh, I'm sorry, 14.
Roll the natural 18. It succeeds.
Okay, so it's not poison, but it does take 7 points of damage.
All right.
And I guess I also want to... I think... Eureka's kind of gonna want to get close to the front. Be close without being too close. So Eureka is going to use her movement to hang out right there.
All right, cool. Kyrell, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Since Kyrell is currently being grappled by this froghemoth, they are going to try to use Thunderwave.
All right.
And
So-
that is a con save.
Okay. What is the DC?
14.
14. Okay. It does have pretty heavy advantage to the player, addition to con saves, but I will give it a roll. I rolled a 15. So I believe that succeeds. So I think on Thunder Wave, it takes half damage, correct?
Let me see. Yes, take half as much damage and
Okay.
isn't pushed.
Got it.
So I'll go ahead and roll it there. It's 9 points in total, so that would be down to 5.
Correct.
And then Tyrell is going to... Okay, there's not much done. Is going to use Action Surge. And is going to use the Greatsword to make an attack on the tentacle.
Okay, go ahead, roll to hit.
17?
17 hits, roll damage. Or actually roll with advantage to hit because of the fairy fire. That's still in effect.
Right. Okay, yeah, the 17 was much better than what I rolled.
Okay,
So
it does hit.
Yes. Alright, so that was 8 points of... Or, sorry, 11 points of damage.
Awesome. Okay. Now it is the Froghemoth's turn. So, on its turn, it's gonna roar from being injured by you, Kyril. It's gonna take that tentacle and retract it, bringing you close to it. And now that you're close from being dragged in with the tentacle, you see this creature up close. Like, it has this toothy maw and this long, like, tongue with these, like, suction cups at the end of it. And it's going to bite you. 14?
That misses.
Oh, very cool. How do you evade this? Just it's trying to bite you while in the tentacle.
I think Kyrell is just gonna, like, stick their sword up and is just gonna, like, kind of just put it between the teeth.
Amazing. Yeah, so it's stuck in there like a toothpick and it's not able to bite down on you. Alright. And with that, let's see, it's going to, it does get another attack. It's going to use its tongue and within 20 feet lash out at you next. So I need you to, well, you're already in its tentacle actually, so what it is going to do is it's going to pull you in the tentacle much closer. And then it's going to use the tentacle to start to crush you. But it has to roll to hit on that, just because of mechanics. So I will roll and see if you can evade that. 18.
That hits.
Okay. You take 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ay, ay, ay.
And that is the end of the Froghemoth's turn. Next, you're up. What would you like to do?
I am going to like grab hold of this tentacle that is pulling me in and cast Witch Bolt, sort of like using the tentacle as the conduit to try and strike this thing's body.
Awesome. Okay. Roll to hit with advantage.
Oh my god. I'm gonna use one of my portents. So I will give myself a 15.
A 15 will hit.
Oh my god, I rolled so bad on damage. That's 2 points of lightning damage.
2 points of lightning damage. Okay.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to use up one of my sort of fey healing abilities and expend a d6 to heal myself because I'm not looking good. That gives me 3 hit points back. And then it'll be my snake's turn. That's it for me otherwise.
Okay.
To escape, like, would it be an action, just like for next time, to try to escape the grapple?
Correct. It would be an action.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be an action, and you can use acrobatics or athletics to try to beat the grapple DC.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, my snake is gonna. Does the snake also get advantage with fairy fire?
It does.
Okay. My God, I'm rolling like by my roll. I rolled a 3 and a 5 for my snake. I rolled a 1 and a 3, which even with my spell modifier, that's just an 8.
Unfortunately, that will miss.
Big rip.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah. So on your turn, you cast that witch bolt. You grab onto this tentacle, and this lightning energy just bursts out from your arm, travels along the tentacle, and shocks this creature. This creature has susceptibility to lightning, so its movement speed is now half, and it has disadvantage on dex saves. So you see it just like moving much slower as it's like reverberating and shocking in the water. Sylvia, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
Sylvia's going to see her friends getting dragged away, and she's going to cast Chill Bonus Action, Bardic Inspiration onto Kyrell. So I picture that as just like, I'm going to start playing with these as like ravens kind of coming down, and just like an image of a raven coming down, and it's just light, and it goes right into Kyrell's like body. So that is a D6 that they can use on on attack rolls, saving throws, or ability checks. And then as an action, she's going to cast Enhance Ability on Next to give advantage on Acro is Dex, right? Yeah, on Dex saves. So Cat's Grace, and so like I don't know, like an image of Whiskers will appear on next briefly for a second.
That's adorable. I love that.
Entering my catgirl era.
Get it? And that's it.
All right, Eureka, you're up.
Are the tentacles very thick?
Yeah, they're thick boys.
Okay. I guess what I'm gonna do then is, you said it has 3 eye stalks.
Yes.
Okay. Can I use my crossbow? Can I aim for his eyes?
Sure. I mean, you can aim for one of his eyes.
Yeah, so aim for one of his eyes. Would me aiming not incur any other damage if I aim it right now?
I don't know if I exactly follow. I mean, if you shoot it and it hits, it will take damage. But because it has 3 eye stalks and not 1, it will still be able to see.
I was thinking maybe it would drop y'all if it was blinded out of 1 eye. But maybe we shouldn't do that, at least for right now. Okay, so I guess instead I will do... I'll do Ray of Sickness at a first level again.
Okay, and that's a spell attack.
Yes.
Okay, well,
15?
with advantage.
21.
That hits.
Okay, cool.
And that's a save, right?
Yeah, it's a save. So 12 points of sickness. and a Constitution saving throw. It's 14.
Okay. It succeeds with a natural 19 plus 9.
Okay, well, it still gets 12 points.
Alright.
So,
Anything else?
I don't want to move because I'm scared it'll try to take us too. So I don't think we'll be helpful. So I'm gonna stay put.
Okay. Kyrell, it's your turn.
All right. Irel is going to hack again at that tentacle there with their greatsword.
Okay, roll to hit with advantage from the fairy fire.
Right. Oh my god. I don't think a 13 hits.
A 13 just barely misses, but you do have that inspiration die from Sylvia.
Yes, I will use it. That brings it up to a 16.
A 16 will hit.
Right. Okay. 8 points of damage.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, that's gonna end Kyrell's turn there.
Okay. It is now the Froghemoth's turn. So it is going to pull you in close next and try to bite you since you shocked it. Does a 15 hit?
Oh, that misses.
Ooh, all right.
Thank you, fancy new armor.
Yeah, so how are you evading it while you're like grappled in its tentacle, but it's also trying to bite you?
Yeah, I think that's like I've wrestled like one arm free to have like cast Witch Bolt at it, and I think I have some, Rigashu made bracers on my arm that are just like that are getting dented by its teeth, but are just I'm like saying a silent prayer to my mother's craftsmanship for kind of like keeping me safe in this moment against this absolutely nasty creature that I hate a lot.
Yeah, and like the jaw on this thing is massive. Like it's as big as your body. This is a huge creature, and it like clamps down, but it like just misses and clamps onto only your arm, which is protected by this bracer, and you're able to like slide it out between two of its teeth. And in retaliation, it's going to use its tentacle attack, yeah. That was get another tentacle attack. Let's see. Yeah. I think it's gonna use its tentacle attack to drop you next and just smash your snake.
Oh, my snake. That's generous of the Froghemoth.
Yeah, so it's gonna drop you from the grapple. And it's gonna 24 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And your snake takes 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
The sad thing is that the snake actually has more hit points than I do. It has 35.
Oh, shit!
So it's
Okay,
actually doing way better than I am right now.
Yeah, alright. I think the Froghemoth sees that as it's a threat, and will temporarily drop you and smash the snake. And now next, it is your turn.
Sweet. I am going to, now that I'm in my Cackerel era, gonna try to make an acrobatics check. Oh wait, I'm not grappled anymore.
correct.
Well, now I feel bad that Sylvia wasted that spell on me. I'll do a backflip just so that I can show off having acrobatics now. I think since I still have Witch Bolt up, I'm actually going to upcast Witch Bolt to a 2nd level. Actually, that's a good question. So, like, with Witch Bolt, you, like, make the attack roll once, and then as long as you keep concentration, you can automatically apply damage.
Yeah.
If I want to, like, because I cast it at 1st level the first time, if I want to, like, up the level, would that be a new attack roll?
I think if you're trying to up the level, it would be a new attack roll, yes.
Okay, and I will do that. Is Fairy Fire still up?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I think Fairy Fire lasts for like a minute.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay, that's way better. That's a 21 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Alright, and that's now 2d12. Oh, and way better on the damage too. That is 13 points of lightning damage.
Okay. Alright, Sylvia, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. Sorry. So first thing she's going to do is use her bonus action to cast Mantle of Inspiration. So, more this time, a swarm of ravens comes down and just flies across the battlefield. And so anybody who wants to use their reaction can move their speed without provoking attacks of opportunity. And everybody, including the pets, because I can do 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So including the snake that's up in melee, snake the tank. We all get
The tank,
5
yeah.
temp HP
Okay.
as well. And so I'm going to take, like, I don't have much for range stuff that doesn't make it run away further. So I'll use, I guess, just Vicious Mockery on it. So it's a DC 17 Wiz save.
Okay. Natural 1.
Huh. The snake has a bigger tentacle than you. I don't know. Anyways, it takes 7 points of psychic damage, and it has disadvantage on its attack roll.
Disadvantage on the next attack. Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Eureka, you're up.
Eureka is just gonna keep on keeping on with Ray of Sickness, since it hasn't failed her yet. It's not quite working the way she's hoping it will, but it's doing something.
Okay.
So- And that's with advantage, right?
Yeah.
23.
That hits. Wow, that's an 11.
Ha! It's poisoned until its next turn. And it has it takes 9 points of damage.
All right. Takes 9 points of damage. All right, Kyrell, you're up next. What would you like to do?
Kyrell is going to just keep slashing away, is just going to use their greatsword again. Oh my god, Kyrell is not rolling great this evening. 10.
Even with advantage?
Oh, I forgot advantage. I keep on forgetting advantage. 11.
Unfortunately, that will miss.
I think Kyrell's just going to insult now. They're just like, I am not getting eaten by as dinner again, you ugly ass, slimy toad. And that's gonna end their turn. promptly.
All right, now it is the Froghemoth's turn. Let's see. It's gonna move up a little bit. Yeah, it's gonna move up there, and it's going to lash out with its tongue toward you, Eureka. It will do this at disadvantage because it's poisoned. So, let me roll some dice for that. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I've been reading the tongue attack wrong. This is not an attack roll. You must make a strength saving throw as this tongue lashes out toward you. That's my bad. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Eureka, please make a strength saving throw. I thought it was a 20, guys.
That's a 3. I thought it was a 20. It was really rude. D&D Beyond lied to me. So, but yeah, sorry.
Okay. So you fail the strength save, and this large tongue lashes out at you. The tentacle parts like stick onto you, and it immediately snaps you close within 5 feet. And then it's gonna try to bite you with advantage or disadvantage because it is poisoned. Does 14 hit?
If it is 14. Remember, class is 14, so it does.
It does hit.
Dang.
So, as it bites you, you all watch as like the entire Eureka is pulled to the mouth of this creature. It opens its jaw wide, pulls Eureka into its mouth, and shuts it closed. Eureka, you are swallowed. So, a swallowed creature, you are blinded and restrained. And you take some damage from that. You take 23 points of piercing damage.
Very bad.
Okay, Eureka, 23 points of piercing damage, and you all watch as she is swallowed by the creature. And that was its tongue attack, its bite attack, and tentacle attack. It's going to just crush you more, Kyrell. So I'm going to roll to hit at disadvantage for that. That is a 12, so that will miss. And then that is the end of its turn. Next, you're up.
Okay. Do I get the sense that, like, would damaging this thing be a sort of, like, proverbial Heimlich maneuver?
You can certainly try.
Well, I'm, I guess, gonna shoot lightning at it again and hope that it throws my friend up. Let's give me another 2d12. 11 points of lightning damage.
Okay. Yeah, and it attack. It like the lightning courses through you and out to the creature.
That's my action. God, all of my healing involves seeing people, so I don't know that I can help. It's literal stomach. Okay, yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me. And my snake is gonna attack it now.
Alright.
My tank. Oops, I just threw my d20 across the room. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
Okay, that hits. Roll damage.
Okay, that's... I am swirling so many ones on my damage die. That's 6 points of piercing damage from the snake.
All right. All right, Sylvia, you're up.
Can I see how deep the water is around the frog? Like, roughly?
Around, it's pretty close to shore right now, so I'd say it's like 5 feet deep.
Okay. So she's gonna, oh yeah, she's just wearing boots. So she's got her best travel boots on. She'll press the digitation on them later, but she's just gonna romp through the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then so bonus action, Wrathful Smite. So she's like pulling out her sword. It's got like the black glow on it, and then she's going to try to attack the froggy in the butt.
All right,
Okay.
because the water is so deep at that point, we could kind of make this more of like a run and jump attack before you land in the water. So just give me like an acrobatics check.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, where did my thing go? What was it? I think it was 19. Let me double check. Yeah, 19.
Awesome. Okay, and then so you're able to hit it while you're, or at least get far enough that you can hit it with your sword before you splash into the water. So roll an attack with advantage.
Ooh, cool. I forgot I had advantage. 27.
27 hits. Roll damage with your Wrathful Smite.
Okay, so that's that much. And then one of these. So that is 11 points. Yeah. 7 points of piercing, 4 points of psychic, so 11 total. And it also has to make a DC 17 wisdom save or be frightened of me.
Well, it's gonna fail that wisdom save because how do you want to do this?
Cool. I'm just gonna stab the rapier and then just try to like leverage it and like open up the frog to see if I can like take out my friend.
Yeah.
Hey!
So you see, what you see in this scene is Nex has cast this witch bolt and is shocking this creature. Eureka was just swallowed by the froghemoth, and then it has turned and opened its jaws, about to attempt to bite and swallow Kyrell. And you see in its mouth like Eureka's like fingertips like waving. And you take your rapier and you like pierce up through the mouth of the creature, and it comes out the top and pierces one of the eye stalks as well. And you pull it out and it just ejects Eureka.
Can I reach out a hand to Eureka to kind of like pull her up and out?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, bestie.
Eureka like looks up, having been blinded by froghemoth bile, I guess. She like squints through her eyes and is like, "Hey, bestie, like,
You look like shit.
I feel like shit." And all Eureka can think about is the saliva just all on her clothes, and she's like half gagging, I guess, as she's coming out too.
I'll press the digitation, all that off.
Icon, thank you.
I myself.
Next we'll run over and help like hack the tentacle off of Kyrell.
Yeah, and you see as like the creature's like sinking into the lake. So Kyrell, you're just being slowly pulled underwater by the weight of this tentacle as Nex approaches and just begins hacking you free.
You know, I think we should get out of this swamp as quickly as possible. I think I got gray hairs, and it's like holding their hair up. Do you see any there?
Next is like, no, you look fine.
It's like all covered in like slime from the frog.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just the slime. We'll get you cleaned up.
Eureka kind of in the distance hears slime and like rustles herself awake and starts like going for her pockets for a vial. And as Eureka is like coming over to collect the slime off of Kyrell, she'll kind of like look around, getting a better sense of her being. And just kind of look around. What happened to Bogluck?
You see from behind a tree 50 feet away, Bogluck peers over. Are you guys still alive? Great. Okay, cool. The castle's this way. I'm sorry, we took a wrong turn.
I have nothing to say to this man.
You don't say. So which way were we supposed to turn? Away from the water?
Yeah, there's like a path around the lake. I forgot. Anyway, you killed it anyway. We'll be fine. All right. Yeah, and Bogluck begins to lead you back a little bit, and you do in fact see like a small path begins to form, much less murky, much easier to travel, and you guys begin walking down in that direction. And as you continue your journey through the swamp, this structure begins to come into view. And you see, in fact, there is a castle standing in the midst of this fog-laden swamp. It has weathered stone walls, and it is rising defiantly above the murky waters. And I believe that is a good spot to end the session for tonight, as you've successfully made it through the Mire of Dead Men, and you are now in the heart of the swamp at Castle Naerytar.
Ay, ay, ay.
The swamp is really giving off like get out of my swamp vibes.
It is a
Yeah,
dangerous place.
I think this is really making Nex rethink the whole like, I am the druid of the forgotten places. I'm like, actually, fuck the forgotten places. And they absolute nightmare realm.
I'm glad it's terrifying.
Nightmare fuel.
That's what I was going for.
People keep on getting eaten. First, like Kyrell with the mimic. Now, like, Eureka and like,
Yeah,
Nex and just everywhere.
I'm really thinking Eureka she just really is like, I don't know what to do. We'll figure it out. And it has not served her very well, but she's trying something.
All right,
Well, I think beginning of the next session, we're all taking a bath.
Yeah, definitely some prestidigitation to go around. All right, we will end the stream there and pick up 2 weeks from now at Castle Naerytar.
Woohoo!
Woohoo.